following show is a paid program.
Hey family, thank you so much for tuning in. Boy, I'm excited. I am a fan of this lady myself. Many people don't know that, but I am. This lady, Charnele Brown. She is Kimberly. We know her by Kimberly Reese on A Different World. She was on there for 6 seasons. Brown is perhaps best known for her role on that NBC comedy sitcom. She has an acting academy, and we're going to talk to her. Charnele Brown.
Hello, Cam.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Cam.
I'm a fan.
Wonderful.
I'm a fan.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I didn't think I was going to be able to talk today. I've been up since like 3 o'clock, couldn't go back to sleep, and I was just excited. I don't know what it was.
Aw, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. Thank you for having me, first of all.
I so appreciate you. On today, our topic is how to become an actor or an actress. So many people here in Houston and around the world, many of them want to learn how to become one, and how are the ones that are some want to become better.
Well, actually, classes. You have to hone your chops.
Yeah.
You have to invest in yourself.
Yes.
And I think when people are very serious as far as acting is concerned, you have to invest in yourself. A lot of people
Yes.
don't want to do that. That means that you're not serious about your craft. Because
Right.
if you're serious about something, priority, you put everything into it. You know, we buy our product, we buy our stuff, we buy all this stuff because that's your priority. So
Yes.
if acting is really what you are meant to do,
Mm-hmm.
it comes at ease for you to take care of your business.
Absolutely. I love that. Something I did not know, and we talked a little bit earlier about it. I didn't know you were a stockbroker before.
Yeah, yeah, that was very interesting, and that was all acting.
Yeah.
It was a way and a means for me to audition at night, and I
Yes.
explained to them that my whole purpose in life was to be an actor,
Mm.
but I had to pay the bills, and I always
Yes.
tell actors, there's no such thing as a starving actor. That's a lie,
Yeah.
because if you starve, you die.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to work, and you
Yes.
work around it until you have enough money where you can venture out. So I
Right.
tell people, work. You can always find work at night as an actor.
Wow, that is so good. And coming from, you're born in East Hampton, New York.
Yes, East Hampton, Long Island, New York. Yep.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So I didn't know black people were there. Were black people there?
A lot of people don't think that. Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of us, but it's enough, to bring attention. But yeah, we're born and raised and
Hmm.
beautiful. I'm just really blessed to have a really great upbringing,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
that
So
that was
how do we
really
get
a
here?
blessing.
How do we get here?
Wow, I've always, like I said, since I have to tell the story, and I don't, like a lot of people know the story, and I have to say why and where I started.
Yes.
In second grade, we used to go to the pond and see
Hmm.
these darn ducks.
Hmm.
And so I got real bored one time about every Friday. See, I mean, what's the difference? They're ducks are ducks. And so I went home one day and I was watching Lassie. I'm dating myself. And you
Mm.
remember, I don't know whether you know Lassie, the series at the time.
Yes.
And Lassie would always come home before, the last 2 or 3 minutes. This time he did not come home. And so I
Mm.
started crying. And I was like, oh my God, I can make myself cry if I can remember something sad. Didn't know that at the time it was called Stanislavski method. But as a
Wow.
kid in second grade, how do I know that?
Right.
And so what do I do with my crazy self? The
Mm-hmm.
next Friday, I went to the pond and I started thinking about last year, started boohooing, just crying. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember my teacher, Miss White, she's like, "What's wrong?" I didn't think it through. See, with acting technique, you got to think things through. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Well, my brother." She said, "What happened to your brother? He died in this pond." I have no brothers. I have one sister. I was so convincing that they canceled Duck, thank God, the Duck thing. Went back to class. People were giving me candy and stuff just to soothe me. And I was
Right.
like, this is amazing how you can convince somebody
Right.
of
Right.
something that's not true. And
Uh-oh.
so I'm going home. I'm skipping home. Meanwhile, Miss White had called my mom. My
Mm-hmm.
mom's a minister. She called my
Uh-oh.
mom and said, that I'm so sorry about taking, her to the pond. My mom was like, "What's the problem?" "Well, your son." He said, "What son?" He said, "The son that died in the pond." Well, needless to say, I got the whipping of my life. But my parents recognized something in me,
Wow.
and they put me in acting classes because either
Hmm.
I was going to be a pathological liar or an actor.
Or an actor. I'm glad you said that because so many parents have asked me before you came on. They saw I was marketing and they were advertising and they said, Cam, please ask her the question, when do we know that our child, we should put, more money into the child, we should do
hmm
more camps,
hmm
we should send the child to
hmm
school like your academy.
That's a good question. That's a good question. But the thing is, first before even the academy,
Yeah.
with children as little as small as 3 or 4 or
Yes.
5, they're peculiar.
Yes.
Don't let anybody say, "Oh, they're just funny, they're cute." No, your child in the house, if
Mm-hmm.
you don't understand them when
Mm-hmm.
they come to you and they explain something so out of sorts,
Right.
you got an actor there because
Mm.
they're creative. So
Right.
it can't be because your daughter's cute. Everybody's cute and
Yeah.
everybody's eyes. That doesn't work. But if that child can convince that parent or
Mm-hmm.
parents to do
Mm-hmm.
something that they wouldn't ordinarily do by being very creative, you
Mm-hmm.
got yourself an actor.
There you go.
Got yourself an
Many,
actor there.
and that's something. Many people start in plays, or they start at
hmm
church. In the
Yes,
church
which is
programs,
smart.
Easter
Yes,
program.
yes, yes. I did. I did. Yeah.
There you go.
You start somewhere. You have to have a foundation,
There you
and you
go.
have to start somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the
yeah,
church is the best place to start. Yeah.
absolutely. Memory.
hmm
You got to have a good memory.
You do, but also too, as a creative child, like I said, if
Mm-hmm.
you can spot an actor, we have a mechanism
Mm.
in us
Mm-hmm.
that we just know how to. Well, I have a technique. When you get
Mm-hmm.
older, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
You lose it because you get tainted. But
Right.
as a child, you're very innocent, and there is a mechanism. Because if your child remembers something that happened 3 weeks ago, or
Mm-hmm.
you promised your child something, and they're like, "Well, where is it?" and you've forgotten about it,
Mm-hmm.
watch that child,
Right.
because most kids don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They call it one track mind. When I was growing up, one track mind. My mom used to tell people, "Don't tell her that you're going to do something. Don't do it." I mean, at the age of 4 or 5, don't
Mm-hmm.
do it because she's
Right.
going to hound you and
Right.
hound because I remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a mechanism. Like I said, we were talking with acting, it's a God given gift.
Yeah.
When I'm a teacher, I cannot teach you how to act. That's God's job.
Right.
My job is only to enhance the tools and the gifts that He's given.
There you go. I love that. I love that. I love exactly what you're saying. You're enhancing
Yeah.
what is already there.
Enhancing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What God's given you. And we've been plucked out. I always tell families when I talk to students and I talk to parents, because I've turned
Mm-hmm.
down kids because
Mm-hmm.
that's not what they want to do.
Right. Right.
That's not what they want to do. I'm telling you, we're peculiar. We have a language all of our own.
Mm-hmm.
When we
Mm-hmm.
talk to actors, we're free.
Mm-hmm.
We're free to say whatever and do whatever because we have an understanding.
Right.
It's really weird. And I tell you, it's always one child that's plucked out of the family.
Right.
That if God is giving you that gift, you'll
Right.
know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was odd. Very odd. Very, very odd. Yeah.
I love that. When we look at Kimberly Reese in a
hmm
different world, what
Yeah.
part of that is really you? The
You know,
person.
to be honest, the body.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nothing else, right?
The body, nothing else. Kim, in the beginning, I really didn't like her.
Oh, wow.
I thought that she was boring. I
Mm-hmm.
just thought, I was like, I want something. I want some meat. I want to be. And
Right.
what I realized was over the years that I grew to love her, and
Mm.
I loved her because she was supportive.
Yes,
You
she
know, and
was.
I realized in the industry, in order for things to work, someone has to be funny, and you have to have a straight man.
Yeah.
And I was honored to be Jasmine's straight man.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and so I took pride in it once I got it,
Right.
because I didn't get it. You know, and actors, we're crazy. You know, we're
Right.
ego.
Right.
You know, and so I realized that, wow, I'm her. Is Lucy and Ethel? I'm her
Yes.
Ethel.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
And I
true.
took pride in it. And then
Yes.
when I realized it, I embraced Kim and loved her.
Right. I love that
Yeah.
because as you were saying with Jasmine, she was just coming with all kind of issues. She
Oh,
had
she's
problems.
amazing.
She had problems.
We call her our princess. She is an amazing. I mean, I tell you something too. Is she's responsible for a lot of my strength and growing, because
Yes.
you always learn from someone, and you learn until you die. And I
Yes.
was coming from Serafina on Broadway, and I didn't know anything about the four cameras at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Debbie Allen saying, "Come on, girl, get it right." I'm like, "Oh God, I'm gonna get fired." And this precious jewel, Jasmine took me aside and taught me
Yeah.
the cameras. She
Yes.
didn't have to do that. We
Right.
don't have that like we used to,
Right.
where we really love each other and love each
Right.
other's craft and want
Yes.
to teach each other so we can grow. I
Right.
miss that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that. You mentioned Serafina. You were the
Yes.
first Black American to cast.
Yeah.
Or do we say
Yes.
African
Yeah.
American, Black American,
Yeah.
Black?
Black
We
American.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. It was amazing. I have to tell you a story behind that. I was dealing with two white managers at the time, and I was
Hmm.
looking for a manager, and they told me that my skin color wasn't in that season.
Yes.
I
Wasn't
didn't
in
get
that
that,
season.
because my past, it wasn't in that season. My skin
We're
complexion
season.
come
We're
back later.
seasonal. We're seasonal, right?
Yeah, we're seasonal. We're seasonal. Our skin color is seasonal. And so I didn't get it. I didn't get upset because my parents taught me that I was a queen from the beginning of time. So it's
Hmm.
that stuff like that. It's like a duck. It doesn't matter to me. I know who I am.
Exactly.
And so I said, okay, thank you very much. Didn't get mad.
Hmm.
And then Serafina came, and all of a sudden I was in. My season was in. And
Your
so I
season was
auditioned for
in.
Serafina. My season was in. Yeah.
What I love about you, you do talk to young people, and I've seen it. Uh,
Yes.
Different clips of you, and you talk about the
Mm-hmm.
rejection due to your skin color,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah,
talk to
yeah,
children
and
about
that
that.
was because that was the one thing. Growing up out on the East Coast, it
Yeah.
wasn't as prominent as the South,
Yes.
and so I didn't know that because I was living in a bubble. And
Right.
so I thank God for that, because when I came to the South, it just disturbed me to see all these beautiful chocolate kids
Right.
so self-esteem. And I'm like, and I remember this one little girl saying, "God, you're so pretty. Why? Why?" She was asking me why I was so bubbly and why I was like, because first of all, I'm God's child,
Yes.
and I don't know what somebody should have taught you that. And when
Yeah.
you're God's child, you are highly favored. I
Yes.
said, no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
Mm-hmm.
know that,
Mm-hmm.
all that other stuff doesn't matter. But I understand her plight, because if everybody's
Right.
coming at you about your skin color constantly, you're
Right.
human. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
believe it.
Right.
So what I do is I go in, anytime God tells me to talk, I talk, and let
Mm-hmm.
them know how beautiful they are, and you're one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
God made us individually. There's
Mm-hmm.
no one like you.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to other people, that's the devil.
Yeah.
That's demons trying to stop you from your destination.
Exactly.
And your purpose. I always tell them.
Exactly, exactly. You know what I love about you also because of the fact we in our own community have race issues, light
Oh
and
my
dark,
God.
light
Yeah.
and dark. What is
Yeah.
that about?
Yeah.
You know?
That's about it started back in when slavery, and then
Exactly.
Mr. Lynch, Willie Lynch, that
Yeah.
letter is saying that how to keep slaves down is to manipulate. And so
Mm-hmm.
this has been 400 years, and it's still happening today.
Right today.
And that's why I tell people, recognize, go online and look at that Willie Lynch letter. You have been bamboozled.
Mm-hmm.
You have been
Mm-hmm.
bamboozled to think something that's not there. And I
Right.
think what's happening right now, God is saying it's time with all
Mm-hmm.
the unrest.
Mm-hmm.
People call it unrest. I call it rest. Because what's
Mm.
happening is everybody's eyes are starting to open.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's up to you to take it.
Mm.
Now God has given you an opportunity to see around you and all the falsehoods that have been happening
Mm-hmm.
around you. It's
Mm-hmm.
up to you to make a difference.
There you go.
Up to you to make a difference. Yeah.
Ooh. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with Charnele Brown.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, Attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call Attorney Willie Powles.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we are back with Charnele. Charnele, let's pick it up right where we left off. We were just talking about rest. Instead of injustice, it's rest.
Yes, it's rest. I mean, he's giving us time to rest and reflect, and also to unleash the gifts that are dormant.
Yes.
He's giving us an opportunity to do that.
Yes.
And also to recognize, the talents and all the stuff that Black Americans have. We don't pay attention to it, and so now we're kind of like not forced, but aware of Black-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So people are out there protesting, and I think that's wonderful. But what I do is, and I've been doing it since the end of time, I buy Black.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You
I'm not
advertise
into
it
Prada.
and
I'm not into all that Dior. I'm not into that. Because I'm not going to put something on that people don't even like me. That makes no sense to me. None.
None.
You're not going to brand me. Branding's enough.
Exactly.
Branding alone scares me. Branding, that's kind of weird.
I like that. When you also have been pushing, a lot of people don't know this. When you got to Houston, you said something very pivotal, and people didn't even remember. You've been saying it as long as you've had your academy. You said Hollywood has been brought to Houston. You think you have said so many years over and over again that Houston is the place that is the next Hollywood.
Yep.
You've said it.
Yep. There's nowhere else to go. Think about it.
Yeah.
They have, and Houston is, everything is here. You can go to the water, you can go to the mountains, you can go to the hills, you can go to the flatlands, you can go to the cities.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense that it's not here. But I came here because people think I'm crazy and I don't care.
Yes.
God told me to pick up my bags and come to Houston.
Right.
So you can pioneer. I'm here to teach. I'm here to teach these actors techniques. So when it does happen, get ready for them. They're not going to be ready.
Yes.
Because Houston has some very talented, gifted actors.
Yes.
I've seen some actors that are just, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And so I'm an advocate. I'm like, you haven't seen anything. I mean, stay in LA if you want. Go in New York and Atlanta if you want.
Right.
But you haven't seen what's happening here
Right.
in Houston, Texas. Yeah.
What needs to change here? What have you seen? Because you have advocated, you have gone. I mean, she's city council, state reps,
Yes.
U.S.
I've been everywhere.
She's been everywhere. But people don't understand or don't see the vision. I see it. I know it's here.
Mm-hmm. I know you
it.
do.
I know it. I know that Houston is the next Hollywood. What needs to change? What's needed?
I think a couple of things. I think that being Houston, they have a certain way of doing things, and it's hard to kind of change habit.
Right.
Because I know that when I lived in New York, we had a certain way of doing things, and we didn't like people coming in to change it.
Yes.
And when I was in LA, same thing. And so it's the object of people softening up and realizing that if everybody comes together,
right,
we're more powerful than being in different groups. And it's no fault of anybody. It's just the way things are. And so slowly but surely, what's happening is these groups are opening up to each other, and things are getting done here. And also, too, the tax incentive here.
That's
we've been trying to fight that. I know Preston Middleton is a dear friend of mine.
Yes.
And we've, he's been on the forefront. Wow, just fighting and fighting, for what we need. And I actually a couple of other people too, Creed Entertainment. I call her my Cree. She's phenomenal, and she's been dealing with the commission, to try to increase the tax incentives because we're so behind.
Right.
That's why a lot of people go to Atlanta.
Right.
That 35% tax, thing that we have, and now to the point where when I see movies, I know it's Atlanta because it's flooded. Yeah. I know exactly where it is. That's that's downtown.
Yes.
That's Stonehead, Stone Mountain, whatever it is. These places, but nobody's familiar with Houston.
Nobody.
And so I think too, because oil is here, nobody cares about the money that can be brought in because you guys are already rich already.
Right.
But look what God is doing.
Yes.
Now the oil, now, it's not as prominent.
Yeah. Everybody's at home.
And so now, there you go.
COVID.
So now they're
happened.
looking at, exactly. Corona is no joke. This thing is a mess. But she's doing things, good and bad and indifferent. But I just think that if we can get those incentives up, people will come more. And then when they come, because I know they're going to come. It says build it and you'll come.
Yes.
I know they'll come. And when they do come, these actors are going to be ready.
You have it.
So they don't have to bring in actors.
Yes.
You got them in-house.
You already
and they'll
have
save
them.
money that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. It's a difference. A lot of people say, well, we already have that here, but we have rebates. And that's different than the incentives.
Different. Entirely different. People want to get a little bit of money back off their budget.
Right.
And rebates are fine. Why not have both?
Right.
Why not have both? Yeah. And it's possible. Louisiana has incredible incentives.
They do.
Incentives. We're so close.
Right.
But who wants to go? I mean, I love Louisiana, but Houston, I just think it's beautiful.
And we have the land. We have land. Look at how much land we have.
I know. It's amazing. And I've been in places where I'm thinking I'm in LA. I've been in places where I think I'm in, Midwest.
Yes.
I've been in places like, oh my God, we could shoot here.
Right.
Like, oh my God, this looks like so and so. And Melrose, beautiful. Just trendy, beautiful places that you can shoot.
Right.
And so it's coming. It's coming, Cam.
I
call
believe
me crazy.
that.
I don't care.
I'm telling you, you advocate for it. You and your academy.
I do.
How did you decide at school? How did you decide that?
But actually, it was God. He just told me because I never thought that I would end up teaching. Never.
Yes.
And I think what happened was, I have to tell people, and people don't know this, that the reason why I stopped acting because I had to take care of my mom because she has Alzheimer's. And so I had to stop what I was doing. Right. It wasn't like I wasn't getting gigs or going out and auditioning. I had to stop. And that was my choice because she was my priority. And she's still is.
Yeah.
But what God did was, in the midst of that,
wow,
He gave me the school.
Right.
So I'm still in it.
Yes.
It's almost like a lily in the valley. So I get a chance to be in my craft and be as close as possible and still take care of my mommy. God is amazing.
Isn't he amazing?
He's
And
amazing.
you would never
He's
know
really
that. You
amazing.
mentioned your mom, Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. That's my girl.
Just
She's
never
85.
know. You just never know,
Never know.
in life. Yeah, what you're going to
Never
do.
know. I always tell people, you get older, you take care of your parents. You watch them because they took care of you.
That's true. That is
And now
definitely
sometimes
true.
it's time for you to take care of them and be
Yes.
proud of it. I'm proud of
Absolutely.
taking care of my mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've had so many people to come out of the school and become, oh my God, they've just gone all over the world.
They have. It's really wonderful to see. We have a lot of actors in LA, a couple in New York,
Yes.
but they're working here,
Yes.
which I think is wonderful. You have these incredible, directors and producers, and you have the Milton brothers, you have, Jaylene Mack, you have all of these incredible people that are doing things here, and you have, a Greg Carter,
Yes.
Fifth Ward.
Yes.
I mean, and he's using his people. I mean, what a lovely thing to do.
Yes.
Because he knows that they're talented and he's going to use them.
And
So it's in-house.
It is.
It's great.
It is.
Yeah.
And to think of Fifth Ward, he actually magnifies the Fifth Ward.
Oh man, I know. It's really weird. It's very greedy.
Yeah.
But how can I put it? It's something. It's his truth.
Mm-hmm.
And as directors and writers, it's about their truth.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. It is. If somebody, this has always been the question, they've asked it all this week. They said, I've got to ask the question, Cam, if we're thinking at our age, 30 and up, and we're thinking about going to acting or becoming an actress because 40 million plus people are unemployed. They're thinking about these dreams that they had.
Sure.
They're like,
Sure.
wait a minute,
Sure.
I could still do something.
Once again,
Can
that's
I
right.
can I still do it?
You're never too old
Wow.
or young.
Wow.
It's also too. I always tell people, if this is what you're meant to do,
Yeah.
God will make a way where He will cancel out everything, and you have no other choice but to go toward your destiny.
Right.
He will do that.
He will.
I mean, look at Samuel Jackson. He didn't start getting famous until in late 50s, early 60s.
Did he? Wow. And one of the highest
Think
paid.
about it. You better believe it. Morgan Freeman.
One of the highest paid.
So it's never, actually, if you are meant to do this, and
Yeah.
I tell my students, that I know that our middle name is rejection.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. But
Yeah.
if you're good at what you do, you keep going. And if you fail at an audition time and time again, it just wasn't for you.
Right.
Because if this is meant for you, God will give you what is for you,
Mm.
and not for, you're not going to take anybody's job.
Right.
I mean, I hear people, I took it. No, you didn't. It was meant for you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And also rejection. Let's talk to people about rejection and no. It might just be not now, or we were looking for something else.
That's
or
not for
something.
you.
Yeah.
And that's where the teaching comes in. That
Yes.
when you know that you know that you know that you're good,
Mm-hmm.
when you go into an audition, I say you're your own competition. You go in, and your audition should be better to the next one. Because in actuality, these casting directors don't know what they're looking for.
Right.
You have to convince them that it's you
Right.
that they're looking for.
Right.
and you make a game out of it. I say enjoy it. I mean, people get they get anxiety. It's like, no, if you believe that this is where this is your purpose in life, you are going to get that gig. And I tell people, it's so worth the rejection. It's so worth it when you get it. It is so worth it. Yeah. And it should be fun, the journey. Because I remember on Different Worlds, it's really weird. I like the hustle. I like the auditioning process and getting better and better. And then when I got a different girl, I was like, now what? What do I do now? Because then it's like politics and stuff that you don't really realize in the business. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is really crazy. But that's the thing. And I prepped them for that. Once you get the gig,
Yes.
then it turns into 90% business and only 10% show.
Absolutely.
Because people are always watching you. It becomes very, very political. And you have to, not only your acting is wonderful, but that can't take you. Because I would rather have someone who's okay actor and have a really good disposition and a good heart
Yes.
than somebody who is excellent and rotten to the core. I'll pick the other one. Because it's about longevity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
So your character.
teach a lot of techniques. Is you and a partner, you do adults?
Actually, my partner's in LA.
Right.
Andre
Okay.
Petrie, he's in
Okay.
LA, but now I teach both.
Oh, you
But
teach both?
I have, yeah, but I have actors that I've taught.
Yes.
So I have Marcus Freeman and Kedron Birdwell.
Yes.
They help me with the kids, and they've been
Yes.
really, because I want to teach them too. In
Mhm.
acting class, I don't only teach acting, but the management of it
Right.
all, the business of it all.
Yes.
And you need to write, you need to
Mhm.
produce, you need to direct, because acting is not enough anymore.
Right.
We've gotten to the point where in the social stuff and internet and stuff like that, where acting is just not enough. You have to
Wow.
do other things as well.
I'm glad you spoke about that, the business side. There's an acting business. We know how
Yes.
to act, but we
Right.
lose on the business side.
Business side.
We lose
The
on that.
business side.
We don't have
And it's
representation
a
either.
rough.
We don't pay for
Ooh,
representation.
Exactly. And I tell people, when you do get an agent or you get a manager, and you're balking about 20% and
Mhm.
80%, who should work harder? You're getting the 80.
Yeah.
So when you get your agent, that's when you start to really work.
Right.
You don't sit on your tush
Mhm.
and wait for them to call you. You'll never get a phone call. They're only getting 20%. We're getting 80. Who should work harder?
Right, right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the business side of it. Many people, including,
Business side.
parents that maybe have their children.
Mhm.
That's a big thing.
Yes.
A lot of
It's a big
parents
thing.
are managing children, but they don't have the
Yes.
business side of it.
Exact. And they get taken.
Yes.
I always tell my actors too, if you're going into an audition and they say you have to pay for something, run.
Ooh.
Because as an actor, in order for anybody to get paid, you have to get paid first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you're going in for, except for modeling, because that's once again, you're investing.
Right.
You're investing in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if, for instance, they have these Disney stuff for kids and all this stuff, and, if you pay $3,000,
Mhm.
we'll get your portfolio. But you can do that on your own for,
Right.
4,000, cheaper than anything, and so they get in the hype of Disney or in the hype of this.
Right.
That's where the business sense comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't give out all that money if they're not giving you anything.
Right.
And what they're giving you is a portfolio where you can get for $500 here, the best. You can go to, Farrell and get the best for $500.
Exactly. Exactly.
So why are you, because you think that Disney is attached to it? It's not even Disney.
It's not.
It's a subsidiary. They're just using Disney names. If they really look close, Disney has an emblem or symbol after their
Right.
Disney.
Right.
It's like you gotta do your homework. You don't want to give out any money unless it's to enhance that child.
Absolutely.
Or, enhance that child.
Absolutely.
And there's no quick fixes. No quick fixes.
And
you're
then
gonna come in and pay $3,000. No.
And I'm going to say something funny, but a lot of people are looking on back pages to find acting gigs
Right.
and modeling gigs.
Yeah. Right.
It's not on there.
Scary.
It's not.
It's not on there.
It's not on there. That's not
It's
the
not
acting.
on there.
That's not the acting.
No. Exactly. But I tell my adult actors, create your own.
Yeah.
Because right now in that age, you need to have a business.
Yes.
Create your own and get your own production company.
Mm.
And start writing, start producing. What we do is, I have a little thing that I do. It's not a little. I'm proud of it. Is that I have a screenwriting class.
Yes.
And what I do is, we teach, the techniques of screenwriting. Then after they're done, I have my actors on Zoom read it so they
Wow.
can hear it.
Mhm.
So in essence, it's helping the actor with cold reading.
Absolutely.
So when they do go
Absolutely.
into audition, it's bam, and we're helping the writer hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very proud of that. And so we've been doing that lately online. Yeah.
I also like the fact that you help people, maybe they've written a play and they have to transition that play over to screenwriting. And you
Right,
teach
exactly.
them the techniques and the difference and make them understand, the
Yeah.
difference in that.
And I had to do it myself because, you can, with a teacher, I always tell people that you have to serve first before you become
Right.
a leader. And so I had to, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
had to actually turn a novel into a screenplay. I mean,
Right.
it was like hell because I was like, this is technique is not working for me. Something's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And so I found a way of doing it with not with ease, but a little easier.
Right.
And that's what I teach.
Mhm.
So and I always tell people too, and I have to say this, I don't know why I have to say this, with acting classes, we're not hoarding the actors. I always tell my actors to take other people's classes. Because
Mm-hmm.
what will happen is you'll take different techniques from each one of us and
Right.
make it work for you.
Right.
So I'm not going to say you can't go to this class because you're in my class. I always tell them go,
Right.
go and get other experiences. And that's what I did growing up. I had many teachers, and then I took from each teacher,
Yes.
that works for me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's good. That's good right there. Because you're taking different techniques.
different techniques. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and
I love
whatever
it.
works for you,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever
Mm-hmm.
works for you. Yeah.
I love the fact about a different world because when we were looking at it, things that would happen, for instance, like injustice with the police, that would have been on there.
Yes.
COVID would have been
Right.
on there now. Voting,
Yep. Voting
voting
would
is
have been on
huge.
there now.
Voting is
Right.
serious.
Huge. Huge. But people were thinking that you should bring different world back. We can't. We can't bring it back because it was in a time and
Yes.
an era where we were a little bit more proud of being black than we are now.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, in the 70s, we were all so powerful. I mean, I remember the 70s where we had the afros.
Oh yeah.
It was just so beautiful, and everybody was in tune with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Then 80s came, 90s, the stuff with the drugs, what they did with the filter, because we were getting too close to who we were. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're trying to get it back now.
Mm-hmm.
But we had back then, it was, if we show different world now, they would think we're corny
Right. I see.
because it's no controversy. There's nobody screwing somebody else, or we're not seeing them in bed, or it's gotten to the point where it's so drastic right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell people we can't bring that back.
Mm.
It was there. It was there for the season.
Yes.
Hopefully God will bring us back around where
Mm-hmm.
people are getting tired
Yeah.
and want to see good stuff that you can learn from, and be proud of. Because when
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch TV, I want to be proud of being a black sister, a
Mm-hmm.
black woman.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be proud of it,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but I have to channel surf to find it.
Mm. There you go. Let's take a
Back in
break.
the
We'll be
day,
right back with Charnele.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, Attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call Attorney Willie Powles.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thanks family for coming back. We're talking to Charnele. Charnele has picked up right where we left off. I love what you said. We felt proud of being black.
yeah. But you know something, Cam? It's coming back
Yes,
because we have these talented directors at
yes.
Ava DuVernay. I mean, all of these incredible female black, directors and creators
Yes.
that are coming. They're seeping out,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's
Mm-hmm.
why I know it's not it's going to go back, but not
Yes.
the same, but better.
Right, right, right.
It's
Just
happening. It's
recently
happening.
we went to Washington D.C. and then Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
There was a march.
I have to say something, and I know a lot of people don't agree, and I really don't care, because I'm my own person, you know. But I believe Black Lives Matter is wonderful, but it has to matter. People don't
Mm.
understand. We're protesting, which is really great, with the police, which we need. But
Mm-hmm.
we have these neighborhoods where these little babies are getting killed in
Yes.
their beds because
Mm.
they're shooting, but nobody is saying anything about that. That
Mm-hmm.
tells me that your life doesn't matter.
Right. And we're killing
Black
each
lives
other.
don't matter. Right. So it's conditional.
Right.
And I have an issue with that. That is
Mm-hmm.
conditional.
Right.
As long as somebody that's not of our color
Mm.
kills us, which
Right.
is every right. But we
Exactly.
have to clean up first.
Yes.
We got to clean up our foundation first.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's raggedy
Mm-hmm.
because we're still shooting each other. We're
Mm-hmm.
still not caring. I don't
Right.
know what happened. I remember family, used to be so valuable. And I
Right.
remember we were talking about this the other day that you used to go, walk and see a church, and all of
Yes.
a sudden, whatever you were doing, you stop
Right.
and walk past it, and then go back to what you were doing,
Right.
or go in, and you know what I mean, and have
Yes.
total respect. That's
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the black churches. I mean,
Right.
it's gone. There's
Yeah.
no. I don't know what it is. It's a scary thing to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that the empathy is gone. There's nothing there,
Wow.
and we have to value each other. And I think we have to love one another.
Right.
Like, Cam, I love you. I don't
I
know
love
you,
you
but I
too.
love you. You are
Yeah.
my brother.
Yes.
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 And regardless of, and all this stuff, the reality shows where the women are bickering and going after
Ooh.
each other. And I know that everybody needs a paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
but it's embedded, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's getting into our little girls.
Mm-hmm.
You see it.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
people have to have a paycheck. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I just think there's a way. If you do that, go outside and let them know that this is not real.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a job that I do.
Right.
And so it gets very scary. And when I say Black Lives Matter,
Mm-hmm.
it has to start with us first.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we start respecting one another, they can't touch us. If we
Mm.
start respecting one another.
Right.
Because if you think of their mindset,
Mm-hmm.
well, they're killing each other. Why they get mad because we're killing them?
Right. Right.
It's stupidity.
Yeah.
It's stupid thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but we're dealing, with a systemic racism that has been embedded since the beginning of time.
Wow.
And so, and we're affected by it.
Right.
We think we're not.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have, like you said, we have racism within our own race.
Yes.
Not only skin color, but class.
Yes. 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 Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to pay attention and get back to what we used to be.
Ooh.
I remember my mom saying, when growing up, it was segregation, and she loved it because we had our own doctors.
We did.
She had her own lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
The preachers used to go and see each other's houses on Sundays to
Right.
eat dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was in-house. So all the money was staying within the community. And I think that with Martin Luther King, people really misunderstood him when he said that he wanted to, quality. He didn't say to drop everything and go over to the white side.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
But we dropped everything because, it was something that we couldn't have.
Right.
And so everything just stopped.
Mm.
All of our businesses stopped because we went over. I remember Michael Michaud, our incredible, a filmmaker,
Yes.
back then. We had our own houses. And then when they realized that they can go over to the White Houses, even though it was upstairs, they would rather do that.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, wow.
Wow.
I said, we're not thinking about who we are.
Right.
And so it's gotten to this point now where a lot of the rappers and a lot of the actors, not a lot of them, they're in a good situation. And so they don't believe that all this stuff is happening because they believe that if I can do it, so can you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work that way. You were really blessed because this is what God ordained you to do.
Right.
So everybody can't be it, so we're suffering out here.
Right.
A lot of people are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in order to stop suffering, we have to come together as a foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and do what our parents did and
Yes.
did what our grandparents did. Because in our village,
Mm.
nobody starved.
Right. Right.
Not when I was growing up. The church was a place where, If you needed help,
yes,
they helped.
yes.
Without conditions.
Mm-hmm. But
They just, I mean, if you need rent paid, people
yes,
got together and got
yes,
their rent paid or mortgage
yes.
paid.
Or they could go to church and get some help. They used to be able to
And
go
you
to
can
church.
get some help. Yeah, that was the
You can't
purpose.
go to church and get no help.
No, no, no. Instead, they want help.
I tell you.
And that's sad. And so Black Lives Matter, getting back to it,
Yes,
our lives, I think that all Black lives matter.
that's true.
But we have to, within our community, we have to really realize that, yes, our lives matter
Yes.
within our own community.
That's true.
And
That's
when we
true.
can do that, nobody
true.
can stop us.
That's true.
Yeah,
And let
nobody.
me put a disclaimer before somebody calls me. It's not all Black
Yes.
churches that are not helping.
No,
That we're
thank
not saying
you.
that.
There are a lot of wonderful churches out there.
Yes.
You know, it's just a lot of wonderful. Well, I tell people, I'm speaking my truth.
That's it.
It's not general.
It's not general.
It's personal.
Yes. No, I
It's
don't want.
what I've seen.
Yes, we
You
don't.
know, it's not everybody.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of churches are doing wonderful things.
Yes,
But
Charnele,
if
we
your
don't want
church
the
isn't-
attorneys to call us and say.
Oh, nah. You know what I love about it? It's, you know, we didn't name a church. It's
No.
our opinion, because if you feel guilty,
Yeah.
check your church. If you got offended, check your church. Check yourself, because you shouldn't be offended. This is
Yeah.
my opinion.
we
is
just
what
we
I've
just
gone
put it
through,
out
and
there. I
it's
just
my
wanted to
truth.
make sure you heard.
Like I said in the beginning, I don't care. And that's, yeah, I really do. I mean, people, you know, and their masses and what they think, it doesn't affect
Yes.
me.
Yes,
Because I know who I am. I'm
Yeah.
God's child.
absolutely.
I know who I am.
Absolutely.
I have an opinion. It's my truth. It's not
Yes.
yours.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And if more of us pull together our resources,
Yes.
like you said, buying Black, if more of us did that,
Yes. Yes. We can bring back money into our community. And you wonder
Oh,
why
wow.
a lot of our communities are not growing.
Yes.
Money is, to my understanding, when you put money in our community,
Yeah.
it goes out immediately. It doesn't even stay.
It stays 6 hours.
There you go.
$1.9
think about it.
trillion we spend. 1.9 trillion.
We spend.
We
We
spend
are
it in a year.
powerful.
Mm,
We're powerful, and I tell the kids, do your homework. There's
Yeah.
no reason for you not to know your history now, because we have Google. Look at how wonderful
yes.
our ancestors were
Ooh.
and what they discovered
Hmm.
and all the stuff that they've done. We built this. Our ancestors built this. Be proud of that. And I think that you got to be proud of who you are.
Mhm.
Know who you are. I mean, and look at all the stuff that we've done and are still continuing to do.
Mm.
Our cultures are being mimicked by everybody.
Everybody.
I mean, everybody says, "Oh, you know, black people," but yet everything we do
They want to
is
do
manufactured.
it. Yes. Everything.
And I tell people, don't you
Everything.
know that they already know how powerful you are?
Yes.
It's just that you don't know it.
Right.
And they're going to keep you not knowing until
Yes.
you wake up.
There you go. There you go. We built the White House.
We built
built it.
everything.
We built
Yeah.
it.
We
But
built everything.
behind it, if you look
Yeah.
behind, you see the projects directly behind it.
Yes. Terrible behind it. Terrible.
Right behind it.
But
You
that's
just look.
that's what I'm saying, right behind it. And that's the thing. If you start realizing who you are
Ooh.
as a people, and also I ask people, why do you think they're afraid of us? It's not because of your stature or how bad you are.
Right.
They know that I go into places and these people know. These white folks, to keep it real, they know that I know.
Yes. Yes.
It's a whole different attitude
Yes.
because I don't fear you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I grew up in East Hampton, Long Island, around a lot of Caucasians.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know, and the thing is, I tell people, what they have you thinking to be so afraid
Yeah.
of who they are,
Right.
but they know who you are.
Yes.
They know from the beginning of time that without our ancestors, nothing would have been built.
Nothing.
Nothing would have been done. So
Nothing.
therefore, they didn't learn anything.
Nothing.
They learned nothing because our ancestors did it. And if you
Mhm.
think about that, the power behind that, and all the money that we spend branding ourselves again on people that don't even care about you, something is wrong with us. They're not putting two and two together. When you have all these incredible fashion designers that are black, and Tracy Reese is one of them. Wonderful, fashion designers, wonderful people. The food, where our food is just the best.
Yes.
You have all of these things, and now that you have online, and now that you have, you can venture out to find out where our black, businesses are. I mean, we have in Houston, but we have a lot of them everywhere, all across.
Everywhere.
I mean, everywhere.
So what are some last words,
Africa,
Charnele?
everywhere.
Charnele, what are some last words, and where can we find you and your academy?
Okay, I'm at 16800
Yes.
Imperial Valley Drive.
Yes.
And we start acting classes back up this Saturday, September 5th, for the adults only. I don't want to bring the kids in yet.
Yeah.
And and very important, we'll be wearing masks and gloves. Which is really great to be safety. We have to get started. We got to keep on going.
Yes.
I've been out for 4 months.
Yeah.
And so it's time to get back in. And also too, I have monologue classes online.
Yes.
On how to approach a monologue, and screenwriting classes as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to first of all thank you, Cam, for giving me this platform. And I just want to say, love who you are.
Yeah.
God made you. We're all different. We're all perfect in our imperfections. And we all learn from one another. We can all learn from each other.
Yeah.
And when we get that, we'll be okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Sharnelle
Cam.
Brown. This has been fun.
Thank you. It was fun. It went by so fast. As you know, I'm from New York, so I talk real fast.
I love it.
That'll never go out of me.
I love it. I'm telling you, I appreciate
much,
you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for everything you're doing for Houston, because you have been out advocating over and over again. Thank you.
And I love Houston, and I will continue to do it
Yes.
until what God promised me is done.
Absolutely. Thank you. God bless you. God keep you. Much love, lady. We will see you on tomorrow. It'll be Monique White. Thanks. Bye.